In last week's JoJo episode, we witnessed the first time ever Gold experience Requiem, which is the advanced version of Gold Experience. Also just happens to be the most powerful stand in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Let's talk about it. A lot of people call Gold Experience Requiem as an hacks overpowered BS stand. Now, Gold Experience Requiem is overpowered for sure. It is one of the most broken stand abilities in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Period. Gold Experience Requiem actually makes sense, and for the plot, the story, the characters, and the philosophy and the theme behind JoJo Part 5, Gold Experience Requiem is perfect as a power-up for Giorno then. So after Part 3, the remaining 3 parts of JoJo in the main universe are taking care of what Dio was left from after defeated in Part 3. In Part 4, we took care of the arrows. In Part 5, we also took care of the arrows. And in Part 6, we also took care of some more arrows. Nevertheless, you get the point. Through the entirety of Part 4, we get to introduce the idea of Morio and arrows, and we see the real deal with the arrows, where did they come from and what is the real power, which was really frightening for our characters' abilities. The main villain of JoJo Part 4, Yoshikage Kira, at the final arc of Part 4 gets a power up which we call Bites the Dust. The arrow he gets the power up from is really similar to how Requiems work. Now again, we cannot call Killer Queen Requiem because the arrow wasn't Requiem in the first place, but for the foreshadowing what happened in the end of Part 5 was really long, like a part ago. In the beginning of Part 5, in the Black Sabbath arc, there are many moments hinted towards the Requiem. Like at one point, Gold Experience was even gonna get pierced by the stand arrow. It's a really cool thing because it adds to the philosophy of Part 5 and Fate, which to me is amazing for the theme of Part 5. Then at the end of Part 5, we also get a previous Requiem to the Requiem, and that is Silver Chariot Requiem, which we not only see what a Requiem's abilities can do, but just how frighteningly powerful they can be. So, in my opinion, the foreshadowing behind Gold Experience Requiem was not only there, but it was there from the start, and it should be praised all along. I think we should mention the complete perfect duality between Diablo's King Crimson and Giorno's Gold Experience Requiem, because Gold Experience Requiem is quite literally the opposite of King Crimson. Diablo denies his fate, so he remains his eternal climax. He literally erases time to deny his fate. He tries to control fate but gets controlled by it. He's a sleeping slave. While Giorno isn't a sleeping slave, he doesn't let fate control him. GR is the opposite of King Crimson. King Crimson erases the cause from the effect, and GR erases the effect from the cause. It is literally perfect duality between these two characters, or between these two stands, to anyone wondering for the deeper philosophy of Gold Experience Requiem. So for the end of JoJo Part 5, not only Gold Experience Requiem brings out a great moment and a great fight, but also just adds more to the philosophy of the Requiem, because now we can speculate about other singular JoJo characters with great stats and what their Requiem would be. But also Araki just wanted to introduce a great power-up that, in my opinion, to any JoJo ending part, this is not only the strongest power-up to a JoJo, but I think that with Tusk Act 4 this is the best power-up a JoJo has ever gotten at the end. It's just a cool way to make your protagonist strong and use the power of parts and the power of time skip to just not deal with that character anymore, because after all, like I mentioned before, Gold Experience Requiem is singularly the strongest JoJo stand ever. There is no stand in JoJo that can defeat Gold Experience Requiem. That's the point of it. I just think that it was executed as a great power-up, and despite having a philosophy, the duality between Giorno and Diablo, also having a big foreshadowing, it's really good, so it shouldn't be considered as something bad. Also, I just honestly think that it's a great stand for those people. Also, I just think the obvious thing, it has a great design and it's really powerful. It speculates a lot around people, but most obvious one, imagine reading Part 5 for the first time, or being an anime only and just experiencing Gold Experience Requiem just wreck Diablo apart. A villain that is so powerful in terms of power, not only JoJo wise, but I don't think there are a lot of anime villains that are just as strong and as terrifying as Diablo in terms of their actions, and just to see him terrified, just imagine the reaction.
Look at that, it's like he's shedding his skin! I'm spitting everywhere, yo!
Despite that, I really like the ability of the stand as well, so that's probably another reason. And I don't really think there is something to hate about Gold Experience Requiem, or to hate the way it was presented, because I think it makes a lot of sense for the story being and for the characters, like I explained before. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you like the art for the thumbnail, it was made by Mikey Monkey Guy, who makes great stuff. Like he made this weather report art that I really like as well. Check his Twitter account, link in the description. Also, I've been telling him to animate my Gyro and Johnny favorite panel for a long time, and he's just lazy, so please do that. Anyways, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below your thoughts about Gold Experience Requiem. What was your first reaction when you saw Gold Experience Requiem? See ya in the next video.